Alright. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Monday, Monday, Monday. Come on in, come on in. Ooh, welcome to Real Resilient Conversations and Consulting. Come on in. If it is your first time, don't worry, it gets crazy, but it gets good. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? It's Monday. I'm gonna give y'all a couple minutes to come on in. I'm so excited to see y'all. So I'm looking. I gotta see where y'all at, where you at, where you at. Today is Monday, of course. We getting ready to kick this week off, right? I'm so excited you decided to join us. If it is your first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome to my R2C, my Real Resilient Conversation crew. I love y'all. Thank you so much for joining. Hey there, Mom. Good to see you. We do this every second and fourth Monday of the month, and life doesn't stop, so we don't stop, right? And because in 2025 we are coming to bring you the resiliency that you are in need of. The way that the world is looking, you need resiliency, and that is what we are here for. So if you are watching live or on rebroadcast, you snuggled up with your somebody, or you are all alone, I thank you so much for tuning in today, taking the time out to join us to hear what needs to be done to grow your journey in resiliency. So, with that being said, come on in, kick your shoes off, get you some snacks. Give me 30 minutes of your time, because this is going to be some good stuff for today. Do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Don't miss out on what is to come. Hello, Granny. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is, if it's not for you, it could be for emotional support for someone else that is in need of. It can be for the development of somebody else that is in your network that needs to hear this. So please, please, please like, share, subscribe. Give me your thoughts on what you think it is. If you missed out on last week, OMG, go back and watch it. We had Dr. Tacoma Anderson on. She gave a phenomenal testimony of what her power of you felt like and was like for herself, right? And what that meant to her. And so if you missed it, go back. It's only 2 weeks ago. Go back and watch the first episode of The Power of You, the first episode of 2025. This is your opportunity to continue to grow yourself, especially in 2025. Whatever happened in 2024, those goals that you missed out on, the things that you missed out on, take the time out today and let's start on a new journey, right? Start on a new path. So down in the comment section, let me know what you believe, what you feel like the power of you means. What does that mean to your resiliency? What does that mean to your development and your growth, right? Like I said, the last show, we talked about a couple of different things. We talked about the general discovery and empowerment. So what did that mean to you when you were talking about empowering yourself and discovering who you were? We talked about overcoming challenges when you're talking about the power of you. We talked about relationships and influence and how that can make a difference in who you are. And we also talked about vision and growth. And vision and growth also just means what does your vision look like for yourself, and how can you continue to develop yourself and grow yourself? And so if you missed out, please, please, please go back and look at what Dr. Tacoma Anderson and myself had a great, phenomenal, blessed, amazing, over of abundance conversation that we had. So don't miss out. Please go back and like, share, and subscribe, follow, notification bell, all of that good stuff. All right. So now that we have gotten through what we need to get, that's just our housekeeping, right? Are you ready to take your journey on part 2 of the power of you? So I'm giving people a moment to share. I believe my production manager is making sure that you all know to like, share, and subscribe. If it is your first time on Instagram, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so happy you decided to join in. For those of you in Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube, thank you so much for joining in. You make the difference. It is because of you that we continue to grow Real Resilient Conversations and Consulting. Here in our team, we appreciate you. So, with that being said, tonight we're going to talk about seven, I believe it's seven key actions that we really want to look at to continue our growth when we're talking about the power of you. Now, of course, when we're talking about the first thing would be cultivate self awareness. When you think about self awareness, what comes to mind? Because usually self awareness, you're like, oh, I know who I am. I know what I look like. I know what I'm going for, right? Self awareness. But there's some people that just they have an idea, but haven't really keyed in on it, right? Haven't really put the key in there and turn the lock to unlock who they really are. So today, I really want to highlight cultivating self awareness. So, first things first is reflecting on your strengths. When you are reflecting on your strengths, your values, your passions, do you know what you're passionate about? Do you know what your strengths are and even what your weaknesses are or your challenges? I don't want to say weaknesses, let's say challenges, some of the hurdles in your life, but understanding and reflecting on those things and being able to understand what makes you unique, what helps you to recognize your inner power. What is your inner power? And for some people, you don't know. For those of you who missed out on our annual Dream Week events of 2025, oh, please find your way on the page and go back and watch it. We had three phenomenal speakers. They, of course, talked about their strengths, their values, the things that they had to endure in order to get to a moment of resiliency. So go back, and as you go back and see Miss C Mac, you see Dr. Tacoma Anderson, and of course the one and the only Dejanay Robinson, who gave a phenomenal testimony, who tore the house down. All three of them just, it was a buildup. You had the appetizer, you had your meal, but you had the overflow at the end. So if you missed out, go back and watch the live from that time. So it is out there for you to watch because it has a opportunity to impact your life like never before. All right. How y'all feeling so far? Did I give you too much? Too soon? That's okay. Eat up, eat up. So we want to acknowledge the emotions. Now, I kind of want to slow down on this. When you're talking about acknowledging your emotions, you want to accept both the positive and the negative. And why do I say that? When you're talking about cultivating self awareness, if you don't acknowledge the positive and the negative of your emotions, um, you react rather than accept. So then you are a reactive person, right? We want to make sure that you are proactive rather than reactive. So you understand what's going on, so you know how to proactively put yourself in a position to where you won't have to react in a negative way, even if the negative emotions that you're feeling are hard for you to deal with. Take the time and say, this is a hard time, and really, I don't think this is a wise decision for me to speak. Right? Understand when to open your mouth and when not to, right? When you're talking about acknowledging those emotions. All right, number 2 would be to set your inner critic. Silence your inner critic. You have to set the time aside to say, these are negative self talks, and I have to replace it with positive affirmations. Now, later on, we're going to talk about some of the things that can be looked upon as affirmations. But I really want you to think about it. What are some things that you are saying to yourself that is considered a negative self talk? I want you to challenge yourself to celebrate the small victories, the small wins, and build your confidence over time. Today, I want you to think about what is something that is considered a small win for you on today. What's a small win for you today? What is it? One thing that you like, you know what? I got out of bed today when I really just wanted to lay there. I actually got up and made myself lunch or dinner, or I did something special or unique with the kids. What was something that you would consider a small win, right? When you were talking about cultivating self-awareness, are you taking time out to talk about how you felt now that you're looking at your inner critic? Are you looking at saying that I'm capable, because you are, I'm capable of overcoming the challenges that are to come, and I'm creating the life that I desire. There are always going to be peaks and valleys. You have the opportunity to overcome, right? The peak, the thing that is high, that is hard for you to reach, the thing that is hard for you to overcome. You have the opportunity to create a pathway, to go around it, to go over it, to go under it. You create the life that you desire. God, of course, is the ultimate, but with God in you, you make the decision to create what you desire. The third thing would be to set boundaries, right? Hi, Tacoma. Thank you so much for joining, right? I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Taraya, thank you so much. Will, thank you so much for joining. Oh my goodness, you all are on here. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome. So number 3 would be to set boundaries. Learn to say no to what drains your energy. Um, it's so hard, right? Sometimes to say no. When you were brought up in a household where no was a bad thing. So then you don't understand how to say no without it seeming like a bad thing. Understanding how to set boundaries is a thing that you may have to practice over and over and over again. It is not always an easy thing. You have to prioritize your needs. I have to say that again to myself. Prioritize your needs and communicate them clearly to others. There's going to be times when you have to say, I would love to do it. However, my energy won't allow, right? You would say, I would love to hang out with y'all, but today I just don't have the energy. I can't. I have to save some for me. I have to put some in reserve. If you are already on empty, why would you give the last drop and now you are left empty to give to someone else? You have taken your boundaries and now those walls have been depleted. You no longer have anything to protect yourself. So boundaries are not, let me rephrase that. Boundaries are not walls. They're bridges, right? And it's for your mutual respect and understanding. You have to say, I would love to do this. However, this bridge right now, I can't come over. I have to stay here. It's a mutual understanding. I respect that you want me to be there, but I also have to understand that this is not the place for me to be at right now. Does that make sense? I really want you all to take time out to understand boundaries, right? Number 1 was to cultivate self-awareness. Number 2 was what? Silence your inner critic. Number 3 is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries has been a little challenging for me this month, and so that's something that I'm still tweaking, right? So I understand that this is something that you all still may be tweaking and working through, right? Number 4 would be to take responsibility for your choices. I'm gonna say that again. Take responsibility for your choices. The reason I say that is because you have to shift your mindset from a victim mindset to a growth mindset. I was having a conversation today and I thought about it. I said, how many times could I have allowed myself to sit and be the victim? And the things that I endured, the things that I seen, the things that I went through. And yet I allowed myself to grow. Shift yourself from the victim mindset to the growth mindset. Everything that I've been through, some of you have heard bits and pieces of my responsibility, bits and pieces of my testimony, of my story, of my resiliency. But I had to take responsibility. Some of those were things that were outside of my control, and some of them was because I made the choice. And when you make a choice, you have to say, I made a choice. Now, these are the things that I have to go through and grow through, right? Grow through. Not just go through it, but grow through it. And have to shift my mindset. You have to understand that you can't control everything. This is an issue for me. Understand that you cannot control everything, but you can control your reactions. You can control your decisions. You can control how you go about making those decisions by taking responsibility for your choices. A mindset shift could be I'm not what happened to me. Once again, I'm not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. It's not where you start, it's how you finish. Um, Tacoma said, yes, I'm working on the control reaction. And let me tell you, that is a growth, uh, a continuous growth mindset that I'm learning, right? To really shift. I'm not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. Say it over and over until it makes sense to you, right? Number five, because I know I'm short on time. Number five would be lean into your vulnerabilities. What are your vulnerabilities? What are the things that you're very vulnerable about that you are uncomfortable sharing? What is it that you're uncomfortable sharing? And why do you feel that it's a vulnerable place for you? Right? Shifting and sharing your authentic self, right? It fosters a connection. It builds a trust. It opens up a portal to greater. If you don't talk about your vulnerabilities, the things that make it hard for you, how can you help someone else? How can you bring up your brother or your sister? How can you show them the way? Right? It is very, very challenging, right? To lean into your vulnerabilities, to accept that making mistakes is part of your growth. It's not a sign of weakness, it's actually a sign of strength because it takes a strong person to lean into your vulnerabilities, right? It takes a strong person to accept and embrace that there is um, more to you than your failures. And your quote unquote failures are not necessarily failures, they are opportunities for growth. They are hurdles for you to overcome so you can become stronger. How do you think a sprinter can get over a hurdle? It took some challenging times. It took some times where they hit their shins, where they knocked over the hurdle, where they made it the first time but didn't make it the next time. Life is full of vulnerability hurdles. There's going to be people that you open up to and you share, and they knock you right back down. Don't stop embracing who you are. Embracing your personal power involves what? Self-discovery, self-acceptance, and what? What do you think? What do you think, y'all? Intentional actions. You have to be very intentional about your actions. You have to align your values, align your potential, um, because there's a lot of ways that we can go about in putting action behind, right, the things that we said, those five things. Number one was cultivate self-awareness. Number two was silence the inner critic. Number three was setting boundaries. Number four was take responsibility for your choices. Number five was to what? Lean into your vulnerabilities. And I'm sorry, number six. Number six, I told you we had seven. Number six is number six is empower others. So here at Real Resilient Conversations and Consulting, my mission, my goal, my assignment is to empower others to grow in their resilience, to give the tools to learn how to deal with life's struggles, It's not always easy, right? Let me make that very clear. It is not always easy. Someone told me, you make it look so easy. And yet, although I go through my own personal struggles, no one knows about the times that I'm in pain and my fibromyalgia takes over and I'm not able to move or do or be where I want to be, how I want to be, when I want to be it. I have to deal with my vulnerabilities, right? But I empower others to still continue on, to still have a business, to still go to school full time, to still work, right? To still date, right? To still have goals and aspirations outside of whatever I felt like may have been hindering me or challenging me. Empowering other is my strength to lift others up, is to turn my reinforcements of my own, it reinforces my own sense of capability. I am capable, is what I want you to tell yourself. Every time things get hard, you say, I am capable. Remember when I said you have to go back and you have to say, I am who I choose to be? I'm capable. You are capable. Take take the time out to really talk to other people, collaborate about what brings clarity to them. uh because my unique roles and responsibilities and abilities are different than someone else here on the line right now. Empower somebody else by collaborating and saying, what can we do to help strengthen each other? I am my sister keeper. I am my brother's keeper. I am here to uplift the next person. This is my responsibility. This is my assignment. This is my role, is to empower you with knowledge, empower you with skill, empower you with the opportunity for growth. Right? All right, number seven. Number seven is take action towards your goal. I know that we were talking about things that you can do when you're looking at the power of you. Last thing for the power of you that I kind of want to hit on is taking actions towards your goals. You have to bring big goals into manageable steps. So when we're talking about cultivating self-awareness, it things big for someone. Break it down into smaller steps. What are really realistic, actionable steps that you can do to cultivate your self-awareness? What are real life goals and manageable steps that you can do to silence your inner critic? Because sometimes that things get a little loud, right? What can you really do to get to that? You have to commit to a consistent progress rather than perfection. Consistently growing, consistently learning, failing forward, right? You have to consistently uh, make a decision that it's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be growing. Not perfect, but growing. How are you growing? How are you aligning yourself to get to your goals? I have 4 classes left until I get my degree. This is probably the hardest semester right now because I felt like I was all over the place and I realized I didn't have my goals broken down into manageable steps. I want you to think about this. Action grows confidence. When you put action behind your goals and then all of a sudden you reach those goals, you're like, oh, I'm capable because of the power of you. Capable. Even the smallest steps get you going in the right direction. Now you're like, oh, if I can do that, let me go ahead and knock this out too. I'm great. I can do that too, right? This is what I mean. The power of you takes one step towards your action, towards your goals. We want to embrace these. We want to begin with living with purpose, authenticity, resiliency. Your personal power isn't about control. It's not about letting someone else control you. It's about the freedom to live life as you choose. The power of you is about making the right choices for you, not for somebody else, not because someone else told you to, but for you. What makes you happy? What gives you peace? Connect to that, right? What would it look like to live as the most powerful version of yourself? I want you to ask yourself that. What would life look like as the most powerful version of yourself? And I want you to start by doing this. Let's do a mindful exercise. Mindful exercise. In the morning, I want you to spend 5 minutes, five, just five. And I want you to step into the mirror and I want you to say, today I'm stepping into my power. That's so powerful. Today I'm stepping into my power. What difference will you make every day if you remind yourself that you're stepping into your power? Picture how you feel, how you move, how others respond to your energy. Today I'm stepping into my power. This is a challenge. I'm doing even with myself. Today I'm stepping into my power. Imagine how it's going to feel when you internalize that. You say it for 5 minutes while you're brushing your teeth, while you're doing your hair, while you're putting on your makeup. 5 minutes. Today I step into my power. I want you to get some grounding techniques. For those of you that like to get grounded with Earth, Mother Earth, I want you to practice some deep breathing in and release. And I want you to say, I'm grounded, capable. I'm grounded, I'm capable, and I am in control of my life. In, out. I'm grounded, I'm capable, and I'm in control of my life. Ground yourself. All right, so I want you to do a 7-day challenge. Those of you that are note takers, note takers, note takers. 7-day confidence challenge. Number 1, are you ready? Number 1, identify and write down. Identify and write down your strengths. Identify and write down your strengths. That's day 1 for your 7-day challenge. Day 2, practice saying no to something that no longer serves you. All day on day 2, practice saying no to something that no longer serves you. Day 3, you ready? Do something outside of your comfort zone. Something outside of your comfort zone. That's day 3. Day 4, speak up for yourself in a situation that you would normally remain quiet. That's day 4. This is a confidence challenge, right? Day 5, spend an hour focusing on self-care. What does self-care look like to you? If you go back to some of our earlier shows, you'll understand some of our self-care techniques, some of the things we talk about when we're talking about self-care. Day 6, write and say your own affirmations out loud. Write your own affirmation, say it out loud. I'm giving you some today, right? I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. What would life look like as the most powerful version of myself? I am grounded. I am capable. I'm in control of my life. I am stepping into my power. Write your affirmations. Say them out loud. Day 7, reflect on what you learned about yourself this week. 7 days. Reflect on what you learned about yourself this week. That's day 7. Self-awareness, self-belief, self-advocacy. Advocacy. There it is. are the cornerstones of resiliency, right? My triangle: self-awareness, self-belief, and self-advocacy. Your cornerstones of resiliency. What about this? The power to transform your life is already within you. You have the power. The power of you is already within. I want you to say no to what no longer serves you. I want you to trust your intuition. You have the power within. Listen to it. Listen to it. The God within, listen to it. Listen to the power within more than you listen to the external opinions. You're taking actions towards your dreams, even if it's scary. What I did on Friday's event was scary for me, but it was part of my dream. Understanding that you have to take actions. Remember, we were talking about step 7 was take action towards your goals. Manageable steps, even if it's scary. And I want you to step into your power. Not always easy, but it's always worth it. Always worth it. Right? Sorry, I can't see my screen. There it is. So I know I have gone over my time by a couple minutes there. We're out of time. I hope that you enjoyed today's show. I pray that I have said something that has jump-started your resiliency. I pray that I have given you some tools that are necessary to assist you in your growth towards a more resilient you in your present life, in your future life, for those experiences, not just for you, but for those behind you, for those around you, and those to come. I pray that you take the time out, to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because I hate for you to miss out on the next show that's coming up in 2 weeks. That will be on the 10th of February. 10th of February. So right before we get ready to go into Valentine's Day, guys. Right, the 10th of February, I want you to come back. And I pray that you would come back. Bring a friend with you. Make sure that you tell them about it. We're going to talk about love me or love me not. Love me or love me not is going to be our discussion in the month of February. It is a sin to be good when you are called to be great. So I pray that you come back. So until then, love, peace, joy, and happiness, I pray unto you. The same place with the same face. I love you, love you, love you. See you soon, y'all. Be blessed. Bye-bye.